So hello and welcome to Wonder WhyZ. My name is Soham and thank you so much for joining in once again. In this video, we are going to talk about Boruto manga chapter 60 because the spoilers are finally out. Obviously, courtesy of Organic Dinosaur on Twitter. A huge shout out to her and thank you so much to her for providing us with all these amazing stuff. Now, this chapter looks quite interesting to me. I know some people will say that this is a totally fillerish chapter, and I'm not going to deny that outright because there are certain like wholesome and fluffy stuff here which is not really advancing the plot forward, like which is not inherently moving the story forward. But there are some pretty interesting things which we need to talk about, especially involving the character of Amado. Once again, probably one of the most mysterious characters in this current era of the Boruto series. But before that, let's just jump into it. And according to Organic Dinosaur on Twitter, the cover page of this chapter is dedicated to Daemon. Not something very exciting or interesting about him. I don't really like him as a character so far yet. I might change my decisions moving forward, but as of the recording of this video, I'm not really a huge fan of this character. But anyway, a very interesting development here is that according to Shikamaru, Code's claw marks are akin to Yondaime's Hiraishin. Now, for those of you who have forgotten what the Hiraishin is, it is none other than the Flying Thunder God Jutsu, the most famous jutsu of Minato, the Flying Thunder God. So, according to Shikamaru, he's just giving some intel here. Code's claw marks, the things which he uses to sort of teleport and move in and out of dimension, that particular thing sort of seems like the markings which are engraved upon the Hiraishin, which was used by Minato, which is interesting. I'm glad that Shikamaru is the one who made this connection. It's not exactly obviously the same thing. It's a totally different Otsutsukification jutsu, and this is a jutsu which was developed by Minato. But I really wouldn't be surprised if down the road we find out that there was actually a link between these two things, because obviously a lot of different ninjutsu techniques are derived from the original Sage of Six Paths. So it wouldn't really be a big of a stretch or anything like that. I don't think it would be demeaning Minato as well. I'm just so happy to see the reference at least to Minato in the Boruto era. So yeah, that's good stuff in my opinion. Once again, I don't have the paneling for this thing yet, but once the actual leaks are out, we will see how it is actually talked about. Do we get a sort of flashback to Minato? I don't think that's the case. It's just maybe like a reference, where Shikamaru is just giving a reference. Oh, maybe Code's claw marks look something like Yondaime's Flying Thunder God technique. And why, and the most important point here is that why does he talk about something like this right now? It's because they have been found around the outer walls of Konoha and in all the other villages. So yeah, Code has been apparently marking his territory just like a dog. He's just marking his territories with these Hiraishin like claw marks, and which is basically like hinting us, slowly hinting us towards the point that we are slowly getting the invasion to Konoha before the eventual time skip. Like before the time skip, we are definitely getting the Konoha invasion arc where Code, Ada, Daemon, and possibly other characters are going to invade upon Konoha, and that is most likely going to lead up into the time skip, into the fabled time skip. Now, it's also said that according to Shikamaru, it's also said that it's possible that these are just decoys made to spread the resources thinner. But even then, basically they have to use caution at this point because this is the Otsutsuki enemy. This is an Otsutsuki enemy that they're talking about, so they can't take things like this slightly because obviously Konoha and all the other walls have been marked by these markings right now. So it's a pretty big deal because if the enemy actually wants, they can come via this at any moment whatsoever. It won't be really a big deal for them. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting point which has been raised here. Now, next it is saying that, next the point of view finally comes to Amado. And Amado says that he has no intentions of turning into Konoha. He has no intentions of turning on Konoha at all. And he says this twice in this chapter, which is obviously sus. Let's be real about it. Once a character like this even says something like that, it definitely has some hidden meaning behind it. Let's be real about that. So I personally don't think that he's going to be the big bad villain of the series moving forward. I don't really think that would be kind of even logical. If you want to know my thoughts about this particular thing, I would really advise you to go and watch some of my prior videos where I talked about Amado as a character and why I feel like he is very mysterious because of one particular reason, and that is he's a totally different alien species which was sort of destroyed by the Otsutsuki clan members. If you're basically a fan of the Marvel comics, you know about Galactus the Destroyer, who used to come from planet to planet and destroyed planet after another. So I think something like that might actually be the true case in the Boruto series as well, because Amado is like the sort of remnant of a species which was destroyed by the Otsutsuki clan members. So I do feel like he has something hidden behind the scenes. He has a hidden agenda, but I don't think that he's the main mastermind or he's like the main villain who is acting behind the scenes. I don't think that would make a lot of sense. But this is overall pretty interesting because Sumire is still very suspicious of Amado. Sumire does not still want to believe upon his words. Um, Also, something very interesting to note here, or rather the most important point of this chapter for me personally, would be Amado is supposed to be working, or rather making, a strong ally for Konoha. That's a huge thing. That is a really huge thing. This is something even Katasuke knows. He basically knows that Amado is working on a creature, possibly a new cyborg. And later on, we also get to see that a mysterious silhouette of someone or something in a body pod which fits for a cyborg. And Amado is working on this. It has possibly a link to Konoha, and Amado is developing this particular cyborg in order to act as a strong ally for Konoha. Now, the main question which is going to come up from this is that who exactly is this character? Who is this character who is supposed to be a strong ally for Konoha? Um, Obviously, this is going to give rise to a lot of different theories. I will possibly make my videos or my own videos as well on this particular topic, discussing about them. I really have not thought much about it yet because I don't have any panels to base my theories upon. Currently it would be just finding a pin in a haystack kind of situation, so it's no use trying to find something like that. But this is obviously going to give precedence to the fake theories which have been leaking around for a while now that Itachi is going to be revived. But just think about it logically. Is there any reason to revive Itachi? I mean, sure, he has the Amaterasu and everything else, but currently his ninjutsu wouldn't really be that effective in this modern era of karma usage, because we have Sasuke whose Amaterasu was literally useless against enemies like Ishiki Otsutsuki. So personally, I would not really like to see Itachi come back in the form of a cyborg. It would be quite disrespectful for him, to be honest. I mean, I'm fine with Koji as a cyborg for Jiraiya, but who else? The question is, who else? Who are the forgotten heroes? Not forgotten, like the fallen heroes of the series. It might be Minato, it might be Jiraiya is obviously done, so it might be Hiruzen, it might be the first Hokage, second Hokage, or anyone for that matter. But I don't really think that would make enough sense to bring someone like that. But let's see what happens. I'm going to make follow-up videos upon this, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel to get the notification whenever I upload those videos. Obviously, once the chapter is actually out, we are going to make a lot of discussions, so be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of those different things. Now, moving forward, we get to the scene of Code and Daemon. This is a bit not up to my liking. I'm not really a fan of Daemon as of yet, so this is not something which I'm a huge fan of. Basically, the horsey scene continues where Code is acting like the horse for Daemon, but there's something more because Bug's face gets smacked by Daemon, and Ada is being a little suspicious. She is most probably concealing some of her abilities, additional abilities from even Code. I wonder if we are actually going to get to see the full powers of clairvoyance, because if you all know, clairvoyance has three main powers. But currently, as of this chapter, we know that Ada has only two of those abilities. She does not have future sight. So, is she actually concealing the future sight power ups? That is going to be interesting to note. Okay, that is the part with Ada, and now we head back to Konoha for the last time. Apparently, Boruto has been not listening to anyone, and he's been recklessly taking two of those pills every day, and it has been going on for a week now. According to the leaks and according to the spoilers and summary, we don't know if the health of Boruto has decreased or not, but this has going to have some major ramifications into the story, some major plot points into the story. I wonder if this is Boruto just being reckless, or is he doing this on purpose? I don't think that he is dumb enough to not understand one and confuse it with two. He's not a dumb character like that. My guess here would be that he's doing it on purpose, basically to stall the Otsutsukification of Momoshiki without really considering the risk factors which can be brought about by the usage of these spells. So I think I feel like this particular plot point is a setup or a foreshadow for something in the future of the series. Let's see what eventually happens. My hope here would be sort of tied into the entire Jogan story. I know that the manga has not introduced the Jogan, and seemingly the anime has also forgotten about it, but let's just see what eventually happens in this particular regard. Moreover, the WhyZ is finally back. Kawaki is basically bad at lying, and he's not able to properly lie that he dislikes Hinata's food. For a while, he's been like avoiding the Uzumaki family dinner time and basically having a self-retrospect session. But Naruto just drags back his emo son, and he literally says Baka Musko, means my idiot son, my silly son, and he brings him back to the Uzumaki household, and everyone just welcomes him back, and he finally eats Hinata's cooked meals. This is basically a feast made by Hinata. All of this seems fine, wholesome. This is pretty cute. I'm obviously fine with that. But in spite of all of that, my biggest, one of my biggest problems with the Boruto series is lying in this particular plot point: how subdued Hinata really is. I'm not saying that she has to be an absolute fighter, but her only existence in the series so far is just cooking, nothing more. If this is not a sad development, then I don't know what exactly is. I'm not saying that she has to be every time on duty. She has been through a lot and she deserves her off time now. That's for sure. But the only time ever when we get to see her is the fact that she's just making meals. Why is she not present in any of the meetings? Why is she not present in any of the decisive moments of the series? I have already made a video about this thing. You can watch it, but and you can also say that I'm a hypocrite for saying something like this. But I just am not a fan of this particular development for Hinata. For me, this is a huge wasted potential, because she is obviously the Byakugan princess. A lot of people just forget that particular plot point, that she is the Byakugan princess. She deserves everything in the world. She deserves all the love and care and affection. But at the same time, I'm just sad that her role has been so downgraded at this moment in the series. But anyway, at the center point of all of these things is the WhyZ. He is sitting with completed flowers and water and everything at the center of the table, which is sort of an allegory that now things have sort of trying to mend it up. Things are sort of being correct now, but obviously it's an ominous foreshadow, because eventually when the WhyZ breaks once again, things are going to get nuts, which is obviously yet again an allegory for the real world situation as well. We already know from the time script that things are about to go down very bad in the future of the series. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that once eventually the what should I say, Konoha takedown or Konoha invasion eventually begins from Code and Ada, we are going to get a cut back to this scene of the WhyZ where it basically falls down and breaks yet again. And also, Boruto apparently lends Kawaki his old Hitaite, basically his headband, and he gives this on one basic condition, that he has to give this or return this to him once he becomes a real shinobi. So this is sort of a Naruto Sasuke situation, and even Sasuke Boruto situation. So it's fine. It's visual symbolism sort of a thing, and I'm absolutely fine with that. So uh what else is there? Does it, yeah, finally it's just a random like wholesome scene of Boruto asking where exactly does this fit upon Kawaki? Does it look good on his forehead or on his or around his neck? So yeah, that's basically the entire thing. And the chapter essentially ends with a pillow talk from Naruto to assure Kawaki that this is your home, this is where you belong, you don't have to be afraid of anything. Yet again, a very ominous foreshadow of Kawaki seemingly sending Naruto to somewhere down the road. So that is all the spoilers and stuff and summary that we currently have for Boruto manga chapter 60. Please do let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. I'm going to obviously make follow-up videos to all of these things. So yet again, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to stay up to date with all of different things. Also, please do please do follow me on Discord. Links are in the description below for my Discord server as well as the Naruto fanbase server. And also, if you are interested to support this channel financially, then please join the channel membership for some very exciting perks and features. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and basically I'll see you all soon in the next one. Thank you so much for joining.